when going through situations, which we all go through, when going through things that can really break us, and I speak based on me again. Like anything I speak on, I speak it based on me and what I've dealt with and what I've gone through. And at some point soon, I'll be able to share more on the things that I'm dealing with, especially with the gang stalking and the secret societies and the spiritual warfare and being brought up by a karmic family and them also, being involved in a secret society and what that entails for me, right? Where I'm gang stalked in person, online, where I'm most like 99% of the time spiritually attacked. I'm under spiritual warfare where I have had handlers, right? Where my energy has been siphoned, where I've been used as an energy source for groups of people without my knowing, where, the molestation that I had was organized, orchestrated by these secret society and these people because my purpose for that time was to serve for them as an energy supply, and how I've been poisoned and how my children have been targeted and how I have been targeted. The things that chosen human beings go through, right? So when I speak on these things, I don't speak on it for pity or anything like that. These are the things that brought me to the understanding of God's source who resides inside of me. All of these things brought me closer to the Most High God. Because all these things happened, I was able to awaken to remembering who I am and the power that I hold and the reason why I'm here. And so as I remember, I'm guided to share about the things that have helped me, about helping humanity awaken to their power, to their life force, to the life force they have within, and to the abilities that they have that are not awoken due to us being asleep because of the programming in society. And so because I broke through the matrix, because I have ascended through to Christ consciousness, and because I understand what that is, and I also understand about abuse, neglect, abandonment, because those were the things that I was brought up with. And even till this day, that's what I go through. But as I'm ascending, I'm being guided to heal. The reason being that I'm not able to ascend if I don't heal. I wasn't able to awaken until I healed. So I had to go through these things, and literally everything I speak on, I had to do. I had to heal. I had to forgive without passing judgment. I had to learn about the spirits that were operating through people and what spirits were those, and forgive the person, and, don't mess with the spirits because we don't affiliate with diabolicalness, and then not pass judgment because they are possessed by entities that are operating through them, those spirits that are operating through them. And then I had to go ahead and balance my masculine and feminine side, my light and darkness, my ego, and my intuition, and the love that I have inside of me. I had to balance that, knowing when to use my ego or when to use my light and my darkness, and when not to. I had to find that balance. And then after that, I had to go ahead and take care of my vessel. When in the scriptures it says your body is your temple, that's what it means. You, like, for example, with me, I didn't know anything about, like, when it came to, like, spirituality, where, like, like with candles and dark magic, or even with the scriptures. I wasn't familiar with the Bible or what scriptures to read for spiritual warfare. And so with me, now I know the scriptures to read, right? And then because I was so naive when it came to the spiritual realm and the things that people did, how they could send diseases, how they can manifest car accidents, how they can manifest things with their words, how they can project things onto you, how they can remote view you, how they can do many things that we're just not going to get into right now. They can do so much, right? And that in order for them to do that, they have to have something to attach it to you from, and it's usually your wounds, your fears. So I had to make sure that I was always healing, that I was always working on forgiveness. And this is something that I do on a daily basis. The reason being that there's so much I didn't know about my origins, about the things that were actually being done to me as a child, to like how things were orchestrated, how people were sent into my life, where nothing was a coincidence, it wasn't a fated event, it was things that were orchestrated behind, how people were manipulating my energy, manipulating my life source, putting things in my food, giving me things that were hexed, cursed. How every time I had something going on, they would come in and do magic so that it wouldn't work out, right? How I'm gang stalked all the time, and then things are shown to me, how people mess with my car and all that good stuff. Like I get to see these things. God informs me of it all, and then I have to go back to healing. Right? And then there's moments that I'm like, just God, why don't you just take them, remove them? Like, what is their purpose? And then I get reminded that vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And I have to stay in my place and go back to praying, go back to meditating, go back to healing, go back to forgiving. And so when I speak on all these things, I speak on it because I was not awoken to the fact that people can manipulate our energy based on our wounds. And so if that was done with me, I'm pretty sure that is done with other people. And so the more people that hear the message that can maybe like something resonates with them, then at least it helped one person. Right? And so for me, that works. And also when I speak, it helps me heal. Because truth, when you bring out truth into the universe, it sends out a signal into the universe. So now you're letting the world know, you're letting the universe know, hey, I need righteous justice and judgment. And so the Most High can hear you. It's like more quicker judgment and justice that gets served. So like it balances out, and it also helps me heal, right? And then I'm also helping others just with my story, because just like I went through this, a lot of my Soul Trap members, they went through this too. And so like as I'm awakening and I'm learning that, oh my God, it wasn't only me. We all went through this. Yeah. And so some of us have a more diabolical story, and others have a more like a different story. Everyone has a different story, right? And so but for me, like, since it was so much, and I'm gonna get to like sharing like all of it. I've shared some of it, but more gets revealed, more gets revealed, more gets revealed. The more I awaken, the more I see, the more I see, the more I see. And then the more that my gifts, my spiritual gifts heighten. You know, because we get our spiritual gifts and then they just keep expanding. You know how I was sharing about the awakenings, how we awaken and it continues to happen. It continues to happen. We don't just have one awakening. It continues to as we evolve, the more awakenings we have. Even after we transcend from the earthly realm, we continue to have spiritual awakenings, right? Because we're spiritual beings. Right. So for those of us that have our gifts, that use our gifts, we understand that, you know, taking care of our vessel is important, that healing is very important, because not only are we able to access the spiritual realm, but that's how we communicate with the Most High God. And so what keeps us from connecting with the Most High God from within is the blockages of having resentment, pain, guilt, shame, remorse, hate towards other, envy towards other, those things. The 7 deadly sins, yeah, that's what keeps us from connecting with the Most High God. So because I know who the Most High God is, because I've seen his glory and what he has done for me, I will continue to speak on the greatness of what the Most High God has done for me.